New data suggests that crypto users and user numbers doubled in the first half of the year. Crypto.com used on-chain data and other parameters to compile the number from 24 of the largest crypto platforms. So they found that the number of global crypto users reached 221 million in June, which is exciting. I mean, this is really exciting news. We talk about mainstream adoption. When I read this, I thought this is really awesome for the first half of the year. But now we're starting to hear a lot from the regulators worldwide, and I wonder if this is going to scare people off. And I wonder what we're going to see with this number. So, Zach, I'm going to kick this one right off to you. What did you take away from this report? Do you think we're going to see that number keep going up?
My takeaway from the report is that large numbers are highly attractive to people who want to learn about this space, right? Traffic numbers for crypto media publications, user numbers, they kind of run in parallel to the Bitcoin price. And it's really striking to see this time and time again, cycle and cycle again. So to me, that was sort of the thing that popped to my mind. But let me shake my head a little bit and see if another thought comes to mind. No, I'm going to toss to Ben. Ben, what do you got?
Yeah, I think that, this kind of makes sense in terms of the overall users, right? More people, they have FOMO, they want to get in on this. I think this, I think NFTs would also be a part of this driver in terms of the amount of attraction that we saw with mainstream figures and crossover. I'm really curious about how sticky this number is going to be, right? Like how many people actually stay and actually explore more in the crypto space, or how many people are like, oh, I bought this one NFT and then the price went down and then I just kind of forgot my OpenSea password and now I'm just like out of this entirely. Because I think that might be more the case than like people doing this for large scale adoption. Obviously, we had some people kind of like YOLO into Dogecoin and stuff like that, but that to me is more interesting. The overall numbers of usage aren't really the headliner here. I'm like more curious about what coins people are getting into, what the breakdowns of apps are really attracting people, and then how many people are actually going to stick with this over a 6 to 12 month period rather than maybe a 2-month one.
And I think that's a great point, Ben. Sorry. I just think that's a great point about sort of crypto adoption cycles, right? There's this big mass of people who become really interested. A large percentage of those people lose interest and go away, but that underlying foundation of rational actors who find the space interesting and stick around grows with each subsequent cycle. So what we see next time around could be really interesting given this data point. Naomi, sorry.
Yeah, I'll just mention that Coinbase actually came out with an interesting statement yesterday. They said that many of their largest institutional clients, including hedge funds, endowments, and corporates, increased or added first-time exposure to ETH in Q1, believing that the asset has long-term staying power tantamount to Bitcoins. So it's just interesting to see this big growth, interesting to see a lot of people diversifying and starting to look at all the different assets in the ecosystem, starting with ETH, obviously being like the number 2. But I thought that was an interesting thing that they were just some insider perspective from Coinbase's point of view. But Will, I'll throw to you.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this number is too low, actually. So there was a report, I forget who it was by recently, but they said 46 million Americans have Bitcoin. So that's a large swath of your 220 million worldwide, right? And so there's a lot of people on Earth, right? So I'm wondering if it's bigger. Maybe this Crypto.com research was only in the U.S. Apologies, and someone can correct me if that's correct.
Well, they did say it was global, but they focused on 24 exchanges. So
yeah, so I feel like it could even be quite larger, just some sort of exposure. And I think Zach's comment there is prescient to what the space is like. There's always these big cycles concluding with the price where it goes up and people come in and then the price goes down. Some people stay, some people leave, and we get bigger every single time we go around the merry-go-round. So I have a feeling though it is larger though, just based on some other surveys that we've seen.